Good morning. This morning I'm going to go over setting up GitHub Desktop, and linking it to a web browser. And that web browser in this particular case is going to be brackets for me, but I think you can do with Notepad++. I haven't done this yet, so you're going to be coming along live with me as we go through this. So what we first need to do is you have GitHub. Okay, cool. Before anything else, make sure you have signed up for an account and that you are in GitHub. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to sign into my GitHub account here. You might want to find me. Ooh, gotta spell my name right. You might want to find me later because my plan is to use GitHub as the repository of any teaching assignments that we do. Ooh, let's make sure I spell things right. And make sure cap lock is not on because that can trip you up. Okay, so this is my GitHub account, all right? But that's not what we're going to do today. Couple of quick things. You will probably need to download Git. GitHub is built upon Git. Git is a repository version tracking software. More on that later, but if the next piece of software doesn't load for you, go download Git. In fact, you probably just need to download Git anyway, so go ahead and download Git, do that. And then this is where I'm going to pick up the pieces. So I'm going to let pause the video this time, download Git, install it, and then come back. So you need to now install GitHub Desktop. Boom. There's the download. There's a Mac version. There's a PC version. Once it's been downloaded, go ahead and run the setup. All right, I'm going to run you through that. I've already installed it. Probably should have screen captured that happening for you, but I think you can make it through the install process. That's not hard. Okay. I also posted some cheat sheets that you can see here that are useful. Okay. So going further into this, we are going to run and launch GitHub Desktop. Okay. Pops up like this. Let's get started, right? And, well, we want to create a repository. So first thing, I think because I had signed out, but now I need to sign back in, is let's turn off notifications. Let's turn off notifications. All right. So we want to create a new repository. Actually, that's not what I want to do. I want to sign in to my repository. I'm going to pause the video real quick. Okay, so coming back, here's what I was thinking going on. The first time this comes up, I was able to sign into my account, and then I signed out. And now I'm in a different state than you should be. But the first thing you want to do is, after you've already created your GitHub account, you want to sign in. If you are on the screen that you're seeing here, go to File, go to Options, and we're going to go ahead and sign into GitHub. So again, I am going to sign into GitHub here. Okay, so what these options here, and say now that's the screen that you should be looking at. What these other options are here is this is clone a repository from the internet that's taking something that already exists and making a clone of it onto your desktop. So the repository lives in two places. Create a new repository. That means make something locally on your hard drive. Another fun option are add an existing repository. That means take a repository from someplace else and put it here. Repositories. This is the language of where code lives. But what we're going to do today, what I want to walk you through, is this create a tutorial repository. You can see here, these are all my repositories. So like here is the one, right? This one in particular this is going to be the repository in which the choose your own adventure example code is going to live in. And that's the one that you're going to probably want to follow to get stuff. Okay, but today I'm going to walk us through the tutorial. I have not done this, so we're doing this together. Have fun. So create a tutorial. This will create a repository on your local machine and push it to your account. Okay, language here. Again, language. As I said, I have some cheat sheets here. Add, we're going to use words like add, merge, commit, push, pull, and there's language here. Push, pull, add, commit. So all these things are command line arguments because Git's kind of old. Git was designed to be a command line. We're not going to mess with that at this time, but we can. If you want to dig into that, it's very powerful. At the end of the video I shared with you, he was doing a lot of this from the command line. But anyway, we are going to now create a repository. So continue. I'm going to come back because I've already done it again. I'm trying to record what's happening. So I'm going to pause. Okay, we should be recording live again. So what had happened is, as I said, I had started this process earlier, and I realized that I probably should record this for you to see what's going on. So as I said, we started this process earlier, and I decided I probably should record this to see what's going on, and then it wasn't there. So if you notice now on the screen that it is no longer present. So what I did is I'd gone into my GitHub repository, deleted it. This is a very dangerous thing. If you dig around, you can find it. It's not easy to find because they do not recommend you doing it. But let's start again. So I'm going to create the tutorial. So it is now creating a local repository and then pushing that to the thing. Okay. So let's go through this tutorial together. All right. Install a text editor. Right, we can recommend Atom, but I feel, okay, I have a text editor. So where's my text editor? Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. We have brackets. I'm going to be using brackets in this regards. If you don't want to use brackets, you can use Notepad++. I just grabbed the most latest up-to-date version of these. There you go. They both work pretty good. So brackets, I like the color. It got stark mode. Okay. Let's see. It's asking me. Always change to my new branches. Integration. There are lots of the command line shells here are important. What's going on here is if you choose like Atom or Visual Studio Code, those automatically integrate into GitHub. So to be clear on this, if you choose like Atom or Visual Studio Code, that you don't have this external way of that it's automatically integrated in, so that your GitHub and your text editor are the same. Some people like that. Some people like them having in two separate places. The reason I'm having you download desktop is so that you can manipulate your GitHub account, your repository where you store all your stuff, separate from your text editor. But there are times when it is nice not to have it separate, and that's what it's talking about, the integration. Anyway. Let's move on. Okay, so create a branch, all right? A branch, as it says here, you can have different versions of the code at the same time. So notice that right now we're in the arrows dot boing, 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 bling, 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 as ever you want to say it, is in the master branch, right? Creating a branch is going to, so it says Control-Shift-N. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Control-Shift-N, new branch. So I'm going to say call it ID test. Now, notice some real world here. It doesn't like spaces, so it puts a hyphen in there instead of a space. Okay, so let's go ahead and create your new branch will be based on your current checkout branch. Master will be a default branch. So this is a side branch. So this is like, I want to test an idea out, but I don't want to pollute the main thing. So we got to create a branch. Boom, cool. Edit a file, okay? Open this repository in your preferred text editor. Edit the readme.m file, save it, and come back. All right. So we need to find this file in that. So where is, let me see, where is this thing live? All right, where does this thing live? So here's what I'm going to do. I need to open up this thing in that. So let's see, where's this repository? This repository, remember, is living in two separate places. It's living on the internet, and it's also living on my computer. So show an Explorer, Windows Explorer, this PC, documents, GitHub. Okay, so that's where it's living. And you see the README file right here? Cool, let's go ahead and open that up. Okay, let's go back to the tutorials, the instructions real quick and remind ourselves what it is asking of us. It's asking us to open the repository in your preferred text editor, edit the readme.md file, save it, come back here. Okay, this is your README file. README is where you can, I don't need that, commit, right? Write your name on line 6 and save it, go back. Okay, so my name, Carl Walther. Oops, it is nice when one can spell the name right. We can now save it, control S, come back over to here. Notice it has now been saved, and this edit here. All right, so I've just added a change to my repository. Okay, I've changed the file. So as I said, I've just changed the file. I've made a change to it. Now, as you're looking at the file, it's going, you need to commit it. So there's a difference. Add adds things to what you're doing. Commit actually makes the change in the repository. So I'll show you how to do that. Summary. What did I do? Named myself. Okay, so here's the next set of instructions. Commit allows you to save a set of changes. In the summary field, write a sort message that describes the changes you made. When you're done, hit commit. So here's the name of the commit. Here's what I did. Let's commit the idea. Okay, so now I've committed it. So to show you real quick what's happening, because publish will push or upload your comments to the branch to your repository in GitHub. So if we come over, again, remember I said this is my GitHub account. Okay, this is my GitHub account, and if I come look at my repositories, how do I get to that? Get to my repositories. Let's go all the way back. Cool. Don't need that anymore. Here, I want to show all, oh, there we go. Here we go. I want to show all my repositories. Here's the one we're currently working on, desktop tutorial. You will notice that there's only one branch. There is the README file in here. There's nothing in this read. So all the changes that we have done locally have yet to show. All the changes that we have done locally have yet to show up on the screen. So that's what we got to do next. Is now we need, well, not the screen, on the GitHub server. So I've added them, I've committed them to my local repository, but what I have not yet done is push them up to the GitHub repository. So that's next. So it now says you will be publishing or pushing it. So I'm going to hit publish this branch. You know, it's telling me what to do. I can click there, or I could do Control P as it's telling here. Okay. All right. A pull request allows you to propose changes to the code. All right. By opening one, you are requesting that someone review and merge the things. So again, pushing pushes your changes up to GitHub. Pull request is saying, hey, when you're working on a project, pull says, hey, I've made these changes. Would you mind pulling them into your project? So a pull request is not you pulling something down from the thing. That's more of a fetch. A pull is, would you mind taking what I've done and pulling it in? Okay? So let's open up a pull request. I'm going to go ahead and this time use Control R. Okay. So now this is now a pull request. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull this branch back into the master, right? What did I do? I added my name to the README file. Let's create the pull request. Okay. There were no conflicts. That means none of the code was in conflict. So now that so it's saying the pull request is there are no conflicts that you have to resolve this time. And so the last thing is, so now that you've done the pull request, you reviewed the conflicts, there's no conflicts in the branch. You can see that quite clearly. You can see that quite clearly here. And now I'm going to merge. Okay. Merge pull request, right? Name myself, that's what happens. Now confirm that. Again, a lot of button clicking to happen, but these are steps along the way. And this has happened. So let's come back to desktop tutorial and see what it looks like. So I'm going to come back to the master branch. This is a tutorial. We'll just keep it like that. All right. So here's the README file that we've done. Notice it has my name in it now. If I come over to Insight and I want to look at and I want to look at works and other things. All right, anyway, that's the overview. I'm going to stop this now because this is really where I want you to run through all this. We will be using this more frequently. We will be learning together. I have a little bit of knowledge in this. You have a little less. Let's both grow together. Hopefully this is helpful.